Hello beautiful creatures, welcome back to Of Crafts and Curios, or welcome to Of Crafts and Curios if it is your first time here. Today I am going to be making the Bleeding Edge doll of my dreams. Basically, when I was doing my goth aesthetic doll for one of my good friends of mine, I had done some research and fell back in love with Bleeding Edge dolls. They've been out of production for a while, so buying one on eBay is either way too expensive to ship to New Zealand or not shipping to New Zealand at all. So I thought I would make my own one today. In my mind, Monster High and Bleeding Edge are a mashup made in heaven. So as I'm beginning to prepare my Draculaura doll for her radical transformation, I'm going to show you guys what kind of Bleeding Edge doll I'm going to make. I think the most iconic Bleeding Edge doll is Storm. She has these pigtail braids, these cross eyes, these awesome piercings, and anytime that I think of Bleeding Edge dolls, I think of Storm. Just like when I think of Monster High, I think of Draculaura. So this is the base kind of makeup look we're going to be going for. And to honor the early 2000s goth era that these dolls come from, I'm going to queue up some nu metal and get into it. So in preparing my doll, as always, I've gone ahead and removed the factory hair by cutting it down super short, and I am just removing the factory paint with my regular acetone based nail polish remover. This paint job is giving me a harder job than usual, but I think that's due to the amount of glitter that was involved. But once she's all fresh and clean, she is ready to go into her hot water bath so I can remove her vinyl head. This soundtrack is so dramatic comparatively to what is usually in the backgrounds of my videos. If you are enjoying the nu metal vibe like I am, I hope you guys let me know in the comments below. Once the vinyl head has had about a minute to sit in that hot water, I'm going to grab a towel to protect my hand from the boiling water and just gently wedgie off her head. And now to remove the factory hair plugs, I'm just going to take my regular sharp-ended scissors and wiggle those around in the doll's head until I can remove all of the glue and gunk and plugs through the neck hole. Now normally here on this channel, this is when I would attach the head back onto the body once the factory paint and hair are gone with, but for the first time ever on my channel, I am going to do a reroot. Now, I'm not very good at reroots. I'm going to put it out there. They're hard. They hurt my fingers. I'm just not good at them. But I really want to do the kind of pigtail hair braids justice. So I'm going to do a reroot. And this is what a reroot is. I'm using a pencil with a embroidery needle shoved into it, cut open. Not super glamorous, I know. But when there's a will, there's a way. And because I don't do them often, I don't have the fancy tools you might see elsewhere. Because I am doing pigtails, I'm going to leave a majority of the head bald and fill in with wefted hair where needed. And this is what she looks like so far. This is just to keep her hair nice and secure and safe while I do her face up. I'll be braiding it at the end. But before all of that madness, we are going to get into some piercings. The piercings were a beloved feature of my goth doll, and although Bleeding Edge dolls do have some piercings that I will be replicating on my doll, they don't have this many piercings in their ears. But I'm just taking a whole range of jewelry making pieces and shoving them into my doll. It is quite painful to do with your fingers. The vinyl does push back against the jewelry pieces, so I'm just using a pair of needle nose pliers to shove those in. Because I'm going to be masking off the hair before the face up, I'm going to do my ear piercings first, but then after my face up is done, I will do the facial piercings. And with those piercings complete, I'm just going to take a scrap piece of fabric and mask off the hairline so that I can begin my face up. I'm starting with a blushing of pastels to kind of lighten the base. This is not that successful, but it's okay because my Draculaura is pretty bleached from love and care and sun and play from whoever owned her before me. So I'm just gonna lightly dust her off and then start building up her main features. For obvious reasons, Monster High dolls have different shaped heads than Bleeding Edge dolls, so my face up is going to be a little more wider than the Bleeding Edge doll, a little smaller due to the Draculaura face sculpt, and it's going to look a little different, but I am going to just utilize the main concepts and key features that make me go, oh, that's a Bleeding Edge doll. So way bigger eyes than I usually do, in the sense of bigger irises and pupils, and a little less detail in lashes and creases and things like that as I build up the eye shape. Once I'm satisfied with the base of the face, I'm going to go ahead and insert my facial piercings. Storm, the Bleeding Edge doll, has a nose piercing and one mouth piercing, so I'm going to go ahead and do those. If you are piercing a doll that has more of an extreme face up, a lot more color, and therefore a lot more Mr. Super Clear, you want to be very careful applying needles and jewelry into the face, because it can crack, peel, distort the Mr. Super Clear sealant and make your face up appear cracked or white, or all kinds of weird stuff can happen. So just be really careful working those bits in. With her piercings in, it is now time to remove her fantastic hair wrap and move on to her outfit. So I am using a DG Requiem pattern from Etsy. I'll link the link down below. I did add a little adjustment to the neckline to assure that it has that awesome cross detail that Storm's character has on her dress, and I'm just going to simply hand sew this together using a stretchy-ish fabric. With the base of the dress complete, I can move on to doing Storm's hair. She does have two pigtail braids and some loose little face framing parts hanging out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and complete that look. My black elastics weren't strong enough to hold the amount of hair, so I do have to keep the pink elastics, but that's okay. It's like a drawback to Draculaura. So now, grabbing all of the lace that I own in the color black, I'm going to begin making the little mermaid bottom of the dress and the billowy lacy sleeves. Using a little bit of tacky glue, I'm just going to fix these billowy sleeves onto her dress, and then all I'll be doing is putting her all together. Now we get to watch me struggle to put this doll into this skinny dress. The dress is stretchy, but it's very fitted as well, so apparently I am not very good at doing this part. I did add a little bit of ribbon to the top of the dress's neckline to tie it around to mimic the choker that the Storm doll does wear. I think this looks really cute, and I like that little addition of the bow on the back, so that's gorgeous. And this is when you can see the full extent of the cross detail on the neckline. And here we have my completed self-made Bleeding Edge doll inspired by the Storm doll. I am so happy with how she turned out. I think she looks so much like the Storm doll. I'm so happy I don't have to pay all those import fees to buy one on eBay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and had some fun with the idea. I know it's something different than what I usually do, but I know I had a really good time making this, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, leave us a like down below, leave me a comment. What are you up to today? And as always, hit that subscribe button to see more crafts and more curios coming your way real soon.